Josh, I don't know if you had the opportunity to prosecute any cases involving doctors. My sense is they have a very positive reputation with jurors, with people in general. They take an oath not to hurt people. Now you bring this guy into court, you're claiming that he deliberately hurt people, but you don't have a motivation. Now, you don't need that, obviously, for a murder conviction, but do you think ultimately that might be a problem for prosecutors?
Michael, I think you hit it right on the head. Throughout this entire trial, I've said, and you're right, one of the big things that prosecutors explain to jurors during voir dire is, hey, I have to prove to you a lot of things, but I don't have to prove to you motive. And they explain that they have to prove intent, and intent is different than motive. But if they don't answer that question for the jurors, I think they've got a real problem on their hands here in this case. Because if I'm one of those jurors, you're right, I'm sitting there looking at a man who's from what I understand, a very highly decorated doctor, had a good reputation until all of this came about. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe he gave them too much medicine. And you're saying he tried to kill them by giving them too much painkillers. Why? Why would he do this? What's the motive? What does he gain? Is he just, am I supposed to believe that he's just now turned into a sick individual who wants to see these people die? I think it's a real huge question, and they're doing themselves a disservice, the prosecution, I mean, if they don't give the jurors an answer.
Josh, I can't escape the idea that mental health, you said is the sick individual, right? I can't get away from the idea that mental health has to play a role in this case. I want to get your thoughts on this idea, because why would someone, again, you don't have to prove motivation, but when you're trying to show why a doctor would do this, and he's saying he provided comfort care, right? But that's one thing. But, I think he had 28 or 23 folks that he killed. He's only charged with the 14. But why would someone do this? Has to do with probably something going on mentally. Do you think that is going to play a role in this case at some point, either for the defense or the state?
If it does play the role, I think it has to come from the state. Like I said, right now there is no answer to that. And the defense is on that. I mean, the burden is on them. They're going to have to provide some sort of answer to jurors for them to wrap their heads around why this person would all of a sudden take it upon themselves to just start taking lives. The other point is, he's taking the lives of people who were close to death in many cases, people who were having their life support removed from them, and they were expected to die within a matter of days, a matter of moments. Why would he be giving them these extra large doses of medication, if not to provide them with comfort? If you're now saying, and you're going to argue as the prosecution, that it was to hasten their death, you're going to have to give us some sort of answer as to what was going through his head, whether that be mental disease or whether that be some sort of, like I said, twisted motivation to take people's lives prematurely.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard of, the God complex, whatever else you want to put up there. You got to give this jury, I think, some explanation as to that. Because Jose Baez, he's a very experienced attorney. He has what I think is a very strong defense, this idea that it was the corporation's fault, that they couldn't, this hospital, this big hospital, didn't really have a system in place to deal with the medical doses, and therefore that caused the problem. So if he can pull that off, I think that's a pretty strong defense. All right, Josh, I want to thank you so much for being with me tonight. Truly appreciate it. We're going to have you back again soon. Really enjoyed your insights on this case.
Thank you.